There's a kind of strength that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't walk into a room with loud footsteps or raise its voice to be heard. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't beg to be understood. This kind of strength is quiet, stoic, unshakable, and it belongs to the man who has mastered the art of being alone. Most people fear solitude. They run from it, drown it out with noise, with distractions, with the constant need to be seen, liked, or wanted. But there are men, very few, who choose solitude like a blade chooses battle. Not because they hate the world, but because they've seen enough of it to realize that peace begins when the noise ends. You see, the world tells a man that he must always be surrounded by success, by lovers, by attention, by approval. But those are just illusions, fleeting, fragile. What happens when the applause stops, when she leaves, when the friends disappear, when the money runs dry and all that's left is silence? Most crumble, most break. But not him, a man who can be alone. He doesn't just survive those moments, he becomes them. He turns silence into strength. He learns to sit with his pain, not escape it. He wrestles with his demons instead of numbing them. He faces the hard questions. Who am I without them? What do I really believe? What am I willing to lose to become who I'm meant to be? And in that silence, something shifts. The boy who once needed permission becomes the man who gives it to himself. The man who once begged for love learns to generate it from within. The one who felt like a ghost in his own life becomes a force no one can ignore. Because solitude doesn't break him, it builds him. The man who walks alone doesn't do it for show. He does it because the path he's chosen is too narrow for crowds. Because self-respect doesn't come from being liked. It comes from keeping promises to yourself when no one's watching. It comes from getting up when there's no audience. From enduring when no one cheers. From choosing discipline over desire. From sacrificing comfort for character. And when you've walked through enough lonely nights, when you've sat in silence long enough to hear your soul speak, you start to see things others can't. You see the games people play to avoid themselves. You see the masks they wear just to feel accepted. You see how easily they fold when life turns up the pressure. And in contrast, you recognize your own power. Not loud, not flashy, but real. He's not the loudest man in the room. He doesn't need to be. He's the one who listens more than he speaks. He's the one who can disappear for months and come back stronger, wiser, calmer. Because when a man is comfortable in his own company, no betrayal can break him. No loss can shake him. No storm can drown him. This isn't about isolation. This isn't about cutting off the world and becoming numb. No, it's about choosing solitude with intention. It's about building a fortress within yourself so that even when the world crumbles, you remain. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need approval to feel alive, because he already knows who he is. There's a deep kind of confidence that comes from walking through fire alone, from facing heartbreak without bitterness, from facing failure without self-pity, from facing the mirror and saying, I still choose me, even now. That kind of man doesn't look for saviors. He becomes one, for himself, because let's be honest, life will test you. She will leave. Friends will vanish. Plans will fail. Your own mind will turn against you. And in those moments, you will either break or build. You'll either collapse under the weight of loneliness or rise from it like steel forged in flame. And if you're brave enough to stay in that fire, to endure the loneliness, to walk alone when the world tells you to follow the herd, you will find a power that cannot be taken from you. A power no relationship, no title, no possession can give you, because it was born in the dark, carved by pain, and earned in silence. This world is full of men who look strong on the outside but are fragile inside. The kind who fall apart when they lose a woman. The kind who question their worth when they get no praise. The kind who crumble when left alone. Don't be that man. Be the man who thrives in solitude. Be the man who uses every moment alone to sharpen his vision, his craft, his discipline. Because here's the truth. They can take everything from you. The money, the love, the approval, the attention. But if you've mastered the silence, if you've learned to sit with your own soul and not flinch, you become untouchable. You become the kind of man who doesn't chase, but attracts. Not because you try to impress, but because your energy is rooted in something deeper. People feel it. She feels it. The world feels it. And they can't explain it, but they respect it. It's time to stop fearing being alone. It's time to start honoring it. Because loneliness isn't your enemy. It's your initiation. It's where the weak are exposed and the strong are revealed. It's where the world tries to break you, and where you refuse. Some men become legends not because they had everything, but because they built everything in the quiet hours no one saw, in the shadows, in the rejection, in the pain. That's where greatness is born. In the space where most would scream, but he stays silent. Most would run, but he stays rooted. Most would fall, but he endures. And when he returns from that silence, he's not the same. His eyes carry storms, his voice carries weight, and his presence, it speaks louder than words ever could. Because he's not trying to prove anything. He's not chasing validation. He's not asking for permission. He's already met the darkness and lived to tell the story, and that story, bro, that's what the world needs. Not another loud, shallow, hollow imitation of strength, but the real thing. A man who can be alone. A man who's been broken and built himself back. A man who doesn't need the crowd because he's already found his center. So if you're in that place right now, where it feels like no one sees you, where you feel like you're walking this path alone, I want you to know, it's not the end. It's the beginning. It's the training ground. It's where you lose who you were to become who you were born to be. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Don't drown it in distractions. Sit with it. Learn from it. Grow through it. Because one day the world will look at you and wonder how you became so grounded, so calm, so unshakable. And you'll smile, not because they finally see you, but because you finally saw yourself. A man who can be alone is a man who can't be broken.